What's up, everyone? Welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about a major news story from yesterday out of Buffalo, New York, where it's been reported that 13 people were shot, 10 of them being killed during a mass shooting. And the news is reporting that this, of course, was not a random act, and that this was a white supremacist committing terrorism. However, what we're looking at here is a classic problem, reaction, solution by our federal government, creating a problem, gun violence, which elicits a reaction, fear from the public, so that they accept the pre-planned solution, which ultimately does not benefit them. This shooting was at a grocery store called Tops, and again, it was in the city of Buffalo, New York. In this video, we'll explain the numerology of this incident, as events like this are not carried out on random dates, but by the numbers. This week is the first total lunar eclipse of the year, and we'll talk about how this is coded into it. Yesterday was also the anniversary of the nation of Israel, the 74th anniversary, May 14th. So this is a big part of the riddle as well. Back in 2017, Donald Trump recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. And the numerology of Donald Trump is very important to this as well, as he turned 911 months old yesterday. But think again about the grocery store, a red grocery chain named Tops. Well, the Tops company is a trading card company. And again, this was in the city of Buffalo, where the Buffalo Bills play. And the Buffalo Bills are currently favored to win the next Super Bowl, Super Bowl 57. Now, Tops was just acquired by a company called Fanatics earlier this month. We'll talk about how that's connected. And then finally, towards the end, we'll talk about the numerology connecting this incident to the death of William McKinley, a sitting president who was assassinated in Buffalo, New York, back in 1901. So let's get started with the numbers that they gave us in the headline. 13 people shot, 10 of them being killed. In numerology, zeros are ignored. So the numbers we see here represent the digits 131. This week's total lunar eclipse belongs to Lunar Saros 131. Again, this will be the first total lunar eclipse of 2022. And the number 131 is relevant to the Super Bowl. Using the standard 26-letter alphabetic order, where each letter in the alphabet is assigned a number 1 through 26 relative to its position, the word Super Bowl, the phrase, sums to 131, just like championship. This is the game that the NFL champion is decided. Well, this year it's Super Bowl 57. And when you write out 57, notice how you also get this value of 131. Once more, this occurred at a Tops Friendly Market grocer, and the Tops company was just sold to Fanatics for $500 million, a half a bill. This business deal was announced back on January 3rd of this year, which was exactly 131 days before the shooting at a Tops grocery store. Now, on this channel, I talk a lot about this 1331 eclipse code, and I'm not going to get too deep into it. This post on the left side of your screen is linked in the description below. But the number 1331 is the ultimate eclipse number. And right now, we're, of course, in a very significant period of time between the two great American total solar eclipses. Measuring from yesterday's shooting to the second great American eclipse, which passes directly over the city of Buffalo, New York, is a span of 1 year, 331 days. So we get that 1331, which is, of course, very similar to 131. Notice how in Jewish Gematria, the city of Jerusalem sums to 1,031. Again, it was Jerusalem that back in 2017, Donald Trump recognized as the capital of Israel, whose anniversary, May 14th, was the same date as yesterday's shooting. The name of the shooter in this incident is Peyton Gendron. Now, initially the name Peyton stood out because, again, this is all connected to the Super Bowl. Football fans recognize this as a name belonging to Peyton Manning, who led 2 different teams to Super Bowl victories. In the standard alphabetic order, the name Peyton Gendron sums to 168. This is the man arrested for a grocery store shooting. Notice how grocery store also has this 168 value, all connected to the recognition of Jerusalem, Israel, as the state's capital. 168. You'll notice that in Fox News' headline, they clearly put mass shooting in quotations. And whenever you see a phrase in quotes in the headline, it's likely that there's significant gematria there. Well, notice how mass shooting equals 159 in the standard alphabetic order. Yesterday's shooting was 159 days after the anniversary of the date that Trump recognized Jerusalem as the capital, which was December 6th. So from December 6th to May 14th, 159 days. And in Gematria, the name Donald Trump also equals 159 using the reverse alphabetic order. Last year, you may remember another major grocery store shooting at a King Soopers that was in Boulder, Colorado. Now, my video on that shooting is also linked down below in the description, and I wanted to touch on that here, because in that video, I talked about how it was a ritual connected to a character named Shadow Moon from a television series named American Gods. After I made that video, ABC interviewed a witness from that same shooting, and I just want to show you something real quick here about this. She's standing right in front of the road here with a bright light on her face, right? But when a car passes directly behind her, you do not see a reflection of the light. 2 cars there. You do not see the news camera's reflection. So this is a green screen because the people who are talking in these news stories are actors. Now, what is this actor's name? Would you believe that her name is Sarah Moon Shadow? This is a clear nod to the fact that this shooting was connected to the Eclipse code. And Sarah Moon Shadow was even there with her son. The sun, the moon, the shadow. Very, very clear tributes to the Eclipse code. Now, this shooting here, as I pointed out back at the time, was 159 weeks exactly before the next Great American Eclipse, a number that's now clearly been coded into this grocery store shooting in a number of ways. Also, consider how Topps trading cards is getting purchased by Fanatics. Topps Fanatics equals 159 in the alphabetic order. All right, so next let's take another look at the name of the shooter here, Peyton Gendron. First of all, he's got the 69 in reduction. This syncs up with the Eclipse riddle that we're seeing play out. His name also equals 183 in reverse. This story comes to us from Buffalo, New York, which has the 183 in English extended gematria. This cipher on the right side of your screen uses the standard 26-letter alphabet, but also uses the ancient Hebrew gematria and Greek isopsephy numbering system. So you get the 183 in Buffalo, New York. In reverse reduction, the name Peyton Gendron sums to 57. And this is the big number that I actually led the post off with. Remember, it's Super Bowl 57 that this whole shooting is connected to. Now, 57 is a very significant number to the moon. The word moon sums to 57 in the alphabetic order, this occurring just a day before the big lunar eclipse from Saros 131. Super Bowl 57 next year will also be played on a date with numerology of 57. 57 is one of those numbers connected to the 666 code. 666 is 57. triple sixes is 57. The moon with a 57-degree range of declination. And in ancient Hebrew Gematria, the word eclipse sums to 57. I noticed how Super Bowl 57 equals 666, just like New York, 666. The city of Buffalo, New York, where this occurred, has Gematria of 174 and 66, which matches number of the beast. The number 666, very important to eclipses, as the Earth's polar axis is tilted 66.6 degrees from the plane of the sun. Sun-moon equals 666. The magic square of the sun sums to 666. This number, very important to the moon as well, all linked in my post. This 174, which is found in the Gematria of Buffalo, New York, is also found in the name of their quarterback, Bills quarterback Josh Allen, who is predicted to have a huge season this year. His name also has this 174. When you write out 666 in the alphabetic order, it equals 275. This is the same as grocery store shooting, 275. And if you measure from the date of this grocery store shooting to the date of Super Bowl 57, it's a span of 275 days. I actually talk a little bit about this number in my slides here regarding to 666. The 275th day of the year is 210, like the word moon. It also leaves 90 days in the year, like the moon in ordinal. So again, measuring from this shooting to next year's Super Bowl on February 12th. Again, a span of 275 days, just like grocery store shooting. Well, if you do not include the end date, you get 274. This is another number found in the Bills quarterback, Joshua Patrick Allen. But more significant is that using capital letters, former President Donald Trump equals 274. And this is important because the nation of Israel turned 74 years old yesterday, from 1948 to 2022. The number 74 is extremely important to the Jewish culture. The word Jewish equals 74. And here we're talking about the language of Gematria 74, which is very simple. And this language based in the English alphabet. And when that's spelled correctly, it equals 74. The name Jesus also equals 74. Dying on the cross, 74. They call him the Messiah, 74, or the King, which is also 74. So it makes sense that there would be a massive killing ritual on Israel's 74th anniversary. The word killing also 74. Furthermore, this shooting fell exactly 74 weeks before an annular eclipse that occurs over the southwestern part of the United States. So even before the solar eclipse over Buffalo, there's another one. And 74 weeks after yesterday's shooting. Again, Israel turning 74 years old. Now, certainly a lot of people dialed 911 in the wake of this incident. In Jewish Gematria, Donald equals 119. Very important number to our orange-haired fellow. Now, if you measure from Donald Trump's birthday in 1946 to the date of yesterday's shooting, look how many months old he was. Donald Trump was exactly 911 months old. Again, he was the president who first recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. In Sumerian Gematria, the name Donald J. Trump sums to 888. If you watch my video on the Kentucky Derby from last week, you'll see this was a big reason why he was at the race, because of this 888 value. In Greek isopsephy, the name Jesus equals 888. And a lot of people think Donald Trump is a Jesus-type figure, right? Going up against the government. Measuring from Israel's anniversary to the shooting yesterday was exactly 888 months. Or, like I said, 74 years. So there's a little more to this riddle. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, one of the 4 presidents to have been assassinated during their time in office was William McKinley, who died in the city of Buffalo, New York, where he was shot back in 1901. So naturally, we would expect an alignment to the death of William McKinley. So I led this video off talking a lot about the number 57, right? Because we have Super Bowl 57 coming up. Super Bowl 131, so is 57, 131. 13 shot, 10 dead. Well, the number 57 is also important to the Scottish Rite. One of the most ubiquitous secret societies in the world is the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. And the numerology of the Scottish Rite was coded into this event as well. Notice how Scottish Rite sums to 57 in our reduction method. Also, Scottish Rite has this 159 that we talked about, as well as 165, just like mass shooting. 159 and 165. Taking another look at English Gematria, the cipher we cracked open earlier. If you write out 57 in Roman numerals as they appear on the logo of Super Bowl 57, you get a value of 448. This is the same value as devil in that cipher, but the phrase eclipse sacrifice, also with this 448 value. Again, this shooting completely synced up with the eclipse that passes over Buffalo in 2024. The full name of the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. Wikipedia mentions how they often omit the "and" in the full name, right? Omits the "and." So if we write this out without the "and," we get an ordinal value of 448. Measuring from the shooting of William McKinley to the shooting at yesterday's grocery store was 44,080 days exactly. But there's even more to this. McKinley didn't die for 8 days after the shooting. And if you instead measure from the date he died to the date of yesterday's shooting, we get exactly 1,448 months. And 1,448 is the trigonal value of Scottish Rite. This cipher, similar to one of the base 10 in ancient Hebrew, uses triangular numbers associated with the alphabetic order 1 through 26. So yeah, if you want to check out more, links in the description below for my video on the mass shooting in Boulder, Colorado at another grocery store. Again, 10 people dead in that shooting, just like 10 people allegedly dead in yesterday's shooting. All a riddle connected to the Buffalo Bills and their potential run at the Super Bowl this year, as again, they are the favored team according to Vegas odds right now. All right, everyone, that'll do it for this video. Peace, love, God bless, and we'll talk to you next time. See ya.